Well, here we go. Let's get started, guys. Shall we? Um, oh boy, hi. Well, it's Vladis. I didn't get a stream yesterday because, well, I had a party to go to, for my wife's job. It was fun. It was a nice date night. We went to go eat, some really nice food that I didn't pay for, so that's always really awesome. But I, you know, it's been hard. I would say, if you're in Ashes of Creation, if you have been following the project as of late, if you are a veteran, if you are an early accessor, I would say it is difficult as of late to follow the project, to be excited for the project, to be anything for the project. You know what I'm saying? Aussie Jack, dude. Welcome, bro. Welcome, brother. So I don't know for sure, and I hope I am wrong. The reason why I say live stream delayed is because if you remember, if you've watched any live stream, you would always get a 48-hour update on Twitter or on X. You would also get it in the Discord messages in news, and you would also get a 24-hour one. And we have not had those. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm hoping we do have a live stream tomorrow, because I think it wouldn't be good for them to just delay, because we have a lot to talk about, and I think they have a lot to answer for in the community. So that's why I put the whole, like, Ashes of Creation, like, is it delayed? Is it this? Is it that? So because again, I've been following this project for a long time. I understand the protocol when live streams are coming up. I mean, I see it all the time. I haven't seen it for this live stream yet, which is odd. So it's just kind of behavior. What's up, brother? You plan on live streaming the live stream tomorrow? If they do it, I don't know. I would say more than likely not, because my wife, works, and she may not be home until after 2 p.m. So I would just probably just go live at my usual time, or I mean my usual random time tomorrow, and just talk about whatever they talked about in the live stream. I think that'd be better anyway, personally. Let me see. I don't know what they're even going to talk about with nothing new going on other than the rollbacks on patches and fixes. So yeah, my whole thing is that, like, I've always been the person to be like, give them time. They need to cook, whatever. What I don't understand is this, like, almost like irrationale to push out a patch for the sake of pushing it. Like, if you still need more time with it, again, there was nothing in this patch that people even cared for, really. But let's flip that conversation and say, what if there was actual shit that people really wanted from that patch? Imagine the backlash then, right? If the patch comes out, everything in the game breaks. Do you have to go, hey guys, sorry about this, we're gonna have to revert the patch, and to potential changes that people were actually looking forward to? It would have been an even bigger disaster. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Like, I honestly do not know what is going on. Let me see. I really hope you are wrong too. They have a lot to address. Game's in a really rough state. We got the announcement on the 24th, so almost a week ago. But yeah, you're right. It's not the same as usual. Yeah, and again, we always get an announcement a week before, and then as the live stream approaches the week of, we get a 48-hour and a 24-hour. Again, like, look, I'll literally go back and I'll show you. Like, well, I don't know. December was kind of a weird month, but traditionally they always give you, like, a heads up. Go, we're live. So showing you guys right here. So we go live in 24 hours. So don't forget to tune into our next live stream update, for Ashes of Creation, right? This was December 18th. And usually they'll do like a 48-hour one as well. So it's like, here, join us live on Friday the 19th, right? So it's like they usually do like updates like this, and they just haven't done it. And so to me, it's just like a little concerning, because usually the social media guys are usually really on it when it comes to Ashes of Creation. and crickets, you know. And no one is even testing on PTR. Well, the Luke, honestly, there was nothing really to test in the PTR. Like none of the notes, nothing in the live stream, or nothing in the patch was not even worth testing as a tester. You know what I'm trying to say? Like it wasn't anything that I wanted to do. Usually I'm all for going into the PTR and testing, but I saw what was in the patch notes and I'm like, I don't really care to go in there and do anything, like personally, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, you know, it's not it. You see 100% getting delayed. Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I would personally think it is at this point. I mean, until they prove me otherwise, I'm kind of in my head thinking it's delayed and it's probably just going to be the week after. I would assume, what is it, the week of the today is the 29th. So probably the 6th. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong calendar. Let me see. Nice seems to have gotten some inside info and claims that the stream will be big. I'll believe it when I see it though. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm in the whole see it. I'll see it when I believe it too. I think, again, there's a lot that I think they need to address to the community outright. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing, right? Like you can promise and you can say all the things that are needed, right? But those are only words, and the actions as of late just hasn't been the best, right? There's been some actions that were really awesome. You know what I mean? Like with the wall of shame, you know, going after RMT, going after botting, going after exploiters, dupers, you know, all that stuff, which is great. However, it's just, there needs to be like more direct communication on the things that players are really asking about, right? And I feel like this live stream is where those conversations need to be, you know? And if they delay it, now it's going to spiral even further downward. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think. Let me see, rough when all the conversation is about botting right now. Yeah, I know. I feel like they really fumbled with the patch yesterday, so they're going to have egg on their face for this live stream, but that's fine. It's game dev. Things happen. Just face the music and own it. That's my thing. That's literally my thing. Like at this point, hey, it sucked. It sucked for us. It sucked for you guys. But face the music. You know what I mean? Like I think delaying would be a horrible decision in my opinion. Like it would. I think it would show more onus and more, you know, humbleness actually, just to show up with that egg on your face and know you have egg on your face and just come out and say the things that you guys are planning. But I think there really needs to be a better restructuring like inside the company to, you know, to literally have just better vetting for patches. Because honestly, like this is like, if this is a sample to come when it comes to like Ashes of Creation, when it comes to the things that Ashes of Creation is trying to do, you put that onto something that people are really going to care about, right? Whether that's you know, new classes or the class talent trees more specifically, or even secondary augments. Like you put that in a patch and it goes very terribly and has to be reverted. Like that's the things I think about. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where I feel is really going to, again, this patch was a nothing burger to me and to many people. But when it's not a nothing burger and you drop the ball, man, that's going to feel even more terrible. Let me see how they're going to fix things. What are their plans? I mean, I hope their plans is to fix PvP, fix PvE, like fix the game. What would not be a fix to me is just keeping on adding new things while previous things are in a very, very severely broken state. Like that's my thing. Let me see. How do you feel about the issues warning for people killing and looting bots? It's like I said yesterday, or not yesterday, but the last time I streamed. Look, you know, if people want to go and kill bots, like let them. If they want to loot the bots, who gives a shit? I mean, I know Intrepid's position is, oh, they're like tainted goods, right? Because they weren't obtained by real players. Like, I get that. I do. I understand where that's coming from. but I feel like this phase is already cooked. It's already like at this point in time, just literally like put like boosters, right? Put leveling vendors in the fucking game, you know, like who cares? Like I think right now people are mostly just fed up. And I think by even offering a boost currently in the game right now to level 25, I mean, hell, you don't have to give people like free gold or anything like that, but hell, imagine if you did, right? Like imagine if you were able to have like anything you could want in the game right now. At least that would make the game, I think, somewhat in a semi good position to like have the fun you want to have. But I feel like most people are in a position where if you do that, then you take away the very progression that they're aiming to play the game with. I don't know. I just think that also the longer they wait, the longer it's going to be for people to stick with the game, to test the game, to do the things they want to do in the game, which is inevitably going to be a very, very hard thing to do. Do you think the backend systems is still a major issue for the game? I can't come up with another reason why actual content is taking so long, like the freehold stuff. The front end has been done for a while. They had we had it in the game last year. I have no earthly idea. I don't know. We can, you know, people have talked about mismanagement. People have talked about, you know, having very green developers. People have talked about like a whole bunch of different things. The fact of the matter is I have no earthly idea. I can probably come up with the same assumptions, you know, those people have, but in honesty, like I don't know what's happening. The only thing I can say for certain is that there seems to be some sort of mismanagement happening, whether that's within the teams themselves, whether that's within the team leads, whether that's in the upper management. Clearly, there are people that aren't doing the job they should be doing. That's what it seems like to me, like as very, very clear as day. More patches that actually patch. They are making WoW look too good now. I mean, like I said, I think right now people are just disappointed, which I am too. Like I come here and I say to people, you know, hey, you know, this is an alpha, you know, expect shit, expect, you know, jank, expect this, but I feel like this kind of goes beyond that. Like this kind of goes a little outside of that jurisdiction. You know what I'm trying to say? Like this is not a look that I would want Intrepid to have, but the reality is it's been happening. You know what I mean? Like, and you can only sweep stuff under the rug when there doesn't even seem to be a rug anymore, but more like a big old pile of dirt. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a good look. Let me see, Vladis, can you turn on the option for captioning? I'm in the doctor's office and can't turn up sound. I believe auto captioning should just be in the thing. I can check YouTube for a second, but I don't have it turned off. I don't think it's anything I can do as of right now, but usually if you just click the cogwheel, the cogwheel should have captions. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, brother. I'm so sorry. First world problems. Yeah, I know. I apologize, man. Let me see, serviceability needs fixing. Yeah, well, I think a lot of the a lot of the systems in the game need fixing for sure. Let me see, drops caravan PvP enchanting was something viable. Well, I think when it comes to even the more ancillary systems, it's grayed out. It might be grayed out because it's live, and I think the auto captioning happens afterwards. I don't know if any live stream service has auto captioning while live. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't even know if Twitch has it. Closed captioning disabled. Show captions when available. Okay. It says not available for this content though, at least on Twitch anyway. So I don't know what I would need to do to make it enabled or make it to where it can. I don't know. Anyway, let me see. It feels like they're a very important decision based on competitive integrity, but this game has 0 and it's an alpha. Well, I feel like honestly, like I feel like their integrity has been called into question way too many times. And I feel like at this point, it's really up to you if you want to trust Intrepid or not trust Intrepid. Like that's a personal decision, really. I think most people come onto streamers or come onto, you know, places like this to be validated of your own opinion. And me personally, I want to believe Intrepid. I want to. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like I'm like, I know you say that, but I don't know. You know what I mean? But I'm like that with every gaming company. I've always been skeptical. I think every MMO player has been very much jaded, especially if you've been in this MMO community for at least 10 years or plus, probably 5 years plus. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I want to believe in Ashes. I want Ashes to succeed. But just like in any valley, right? You have your hills and you have your valleys. Right now we're in a pretty deep valley. And we've been in valleys before. And anytime you're in a valley, it's always hard to look at the light. It's always hard to look ahead. It's always hard to believe in the future. But eventually something happens to where, you know, we push out of it. You know what I mean? And either we do or we don't. And we march on forward anyway. So let me see. All I really wanted the rest of the content outs or content out so we can work on Vaseline, Artisan glow up, settlement destruction without bank loss with the start. Let's get the whole continent out. Honestly, I don't agree with that. I think we should get, I would rather personally have revamps to existing biomes right now, like a 2.0 version of the Riverlands, of Anvils, of every single current zone we do have right now, than having another Badlands or the Redwood area in a very bare bones state and have those be in a bare bones state for like 2.5+ months because they're working on those two biomes. Like I just rather work on what we currently have. I think right now we have enough area on the map to work with. That's just my opinion. Let me see. This phase needs a wiper merger / fresh starts. Hopefully Intrepid understands what's at stake right now. I think they do. I think they actually understand this of what's at stake right now, especially after yesterday's debacle, right? So I think they know. It's just a matter of what they're going to do, right? That's what it is. I've done it for work events on YouTube. I think it's we are slowly rolling this out to bigger creators type of thing. Oh, okay. So that's probably what it is with the whole like auto captioning. You see, I just purchased the game. Hopefully they can turn things around. I hope so too, man. As someone who's been in this Alpha 2 for over a year, like I said, we've been in our hills, we've been in our valleys, and right now we are in a pretty deep valley. But, you know, hopefully within a couple of months, we can actually like, you know, get ourselves out of it. But I know that's, you know, just like anything else, you know, I wasn't a fan of phase 2.5. You know, it is what it was. And I played very rarely in that phase. And then I started really hard in phase 3, which phase 3 was a complete and utter shit show in my opinion, and it shouldn't have happened. It should have been delayed. But yeah, what happened yesterday? So yesterday Intrepid in my opinion rushed out a patch that no one really wanted, and it broke the entire live server, and then they had to revert it back. So it was like almost 5 hours of wasted time putting in a patch for downtime, having the patch active, which broke the game, to then have it reverted for another 1.5 to 2 hours. So to basically have nothing happen. Like that's what happened. And again, it didn't need to happen. Like if they still needed, like no one was wanting this patch. Like no one was like, oh, Intrepid, like when are we going to get this patch? Like if y'all need more time with it, just take more time. Take till next week. No one cares. Like we actually were looking for more from this patch. Like we weren't even looking, like we saw that this was the same patches we got on PTR. We're like, hey, well, we thought there was going to be more additions to this. You know what I mean? So the fact that it was the same nothing burger to people, it didn't really matter. Like, you know, so that was, I think, the big thing. Oh, do you think if Intrepid would keep this quiet, there wouldn't be this much criticism? I think there would still be criticism, but I don't think it'd be as loud, in my opinion. I think if they were to give updates on to the problems and things of the game and give their position on what's going on and let us know, because you would assume that would be the case in an open development towards the gaming community and the dev community between the game. Like that's what I would want. And I think that's what a lot of people want. And we're just not getting it. Let me see. Question for everyone. What percentage of Ash's player base is a botted account? I would say right now, I think we have anywhere between, I agree with Phantom's take. I think we have probably anywhere between 4,000 to 5,000 botters in Ashes right now. Let me see. As a new player, it's buggy as fuck. However, I am enjoying the game so far. For what it's worth, as someone who hasn't played through things 5 times, yeah. And honestly, like about 4 of my gaming group played as all new folks. That's great, man. Like I'm really glad that you're enjoying the game, man. Because honestly, like I've been enjoying the game for a long time. And right now there is a lot more to experience, right? Comparatively to phase 1. Not by too much. I mean, you can have a lot more biome to explore, more POIs to do, but as far as like the same game loop of go to POI and grind, yeah, it's kind of what it is. But artisanship is in a way better place now that static node rarity is gone. You probably don't even know what that is, but you know, gathering feels really good. Processing feels, you know, okay. Crafting feels so I mean, but we still have a long way to go even with professions. I mean, hell, our hunting system is still in a complete placeholder state, and it's been that way since phase 1. So you know, you see, wasn't sure if the person was trolling. I saw the updates was 10G and it was literally one fix. They could have been joking though. No, it was 10 gigabytes, but it wasn't one fix. It was a whole bunch of stuff, but the whole bunch of stuff that was there was really nothing that people were like, oh, that's a good update. I can't wait to experience that. Or I can't wait to, man, that's a good fix. Like I can't wait for that to happen kind of thing. So let me see, their patch reversion ratio is insane. In my field, someone would be fired. Those are supposed to rarely happen. If you test management and dev peer review / testing on this point, it would happen. It would rarely happen. No, I agree. I've never seen this much like, hey, we put out a patch, now we got to revert it. And it didn't need to happen. It didn't need to happen. No one in the community was craving for this patch, like at all. So I don't know what was going on. I don't know what the thinking was. And honestly, like when I saw Steven say that he's been sick and he was out of the office and he was taking care of his, you know, mental health and all this other stuff, I can only imagine how grating and taxing being, you know, a CEO of this company has been for him. And my heart does go out to him. But man, like there needs to be some accountability from the team, you know, whether that's from individuals, whether that's from management leads. I mean, I just feel like this is kind of unacceptable. Actually, no, it is unacceptable. Not kinda, it's just unacceptable. And I don't know where the checks and balances are. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't, so it's like, how far does the I'm in trouble hole go? You know what I'm saying? Like, because it feels like team makes product, someone checks team's product for verification. Like there has to be like, I think would be multiple levels of checks and balances, but I don't know. And again, I think sometimes when people's plates are too heavy, the checks and balances, I think, get lighter and lighter. And I would rather, and again, I think I would rather have a leaner patch, right? Where it's not much lines, you know, as far as like what we see as a player, and have a better checks and balances because of that, than having a really big patch where checks and balances and holds could have been way bigger, right? That's like me. Like I would rather have a leaner patch with not many few changes more frequently than just adding on to this huge patch thing and it just becoming terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is, but that's just kind of how I feel. I think the people responsible might be the ones released. I mean, potentially, but I don't know. I mean, who knows at this point? Now it feels like this studio-wide issue doesn't seem like anyone is on the same page. I mean, and it does feel like that way from an outside perspective. It does. I don't blame anybody for thinking that. Let me see, where would we be if Jeffrey Bard never left? We would definitely have more of a PvE game. Let me say that right now, because he was definitely a PvEer, that's for sure. Let me see, is the live stream delayed? As far as to my knowledge, it's not. but I only put that in my thumbnail because usually, like I said, we normally get like, you know, stuff like this. Like we go live in 24 hours. So don't forget to tune into our next development live stream update or whatever. And this just hasn't happened. So I feel like if they're going to announce a delay, like you kind of have to do it pretty soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're going to post like a new X update saying, hey, in less than 24 hours, we're going for, a live stream. So let me see. Grok estimates the bots to be 25% of the population, but that's peak up to 80% in its core areas. Oh, like I said, we'll see. I did something amazing today in WoW. I right clicked and selected report bot. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, who knew that a company that has existed for over like 30 something years to a game that's existed for over about 20 something years has an actual in-game reporting? Who knew? Let me see. Did you watch the Blizzard live stream? I did not. I was too busy. Me and my daughter, she's been crazy today. She's so normally if you have kids, you probably know this. My kid slept for less than an hour for her nap time. Normally she sleeps for an hour and a half to 2 hours. But anytime a child sleeps less than an hour, they always tend to wake up very cranky and be very like everything is bad. And that's kind of like what I've been dealing with. And isn't all the communication Margaret's job? No. I mean, she's the main person in charge of the management or communication, but I believe he's called social media man on Discord, and he's the person that actually is responsible for the Ashes of Creation X account. But again, he can't just post stuff without Margaret's approval, I'm sure. So if Margaret said no, don't update people on X regarding the live stream, then it could mean that the delay is happening. We don't know. So what you're saying is my wife is still a child. Oh my God. She's gonna be all emotional today. Yes, she is. Let me see. Grok gave Margaret a 7 out of 10 for her job performance. I don't know. My whole thing is that, like, as someone who's been a lead in teams before, I've always tried to take responsibility for things that weren't even done by me, but by my team. Like, I took the responsibility and acted like it was my fault. That's how I always conduct myself. I don't know how other people do it, but that's just what I do. And I feel like communication just hasn't really been the best at all this month. Hey Vladis, just heard through the grapevine the last update got rolled back right away because it had stuff messed up. Did they fix that or we're in the or right now, so it just and again, there was nothing in that patch that people really wanted, so it's not like people were hurting for that patch and wanting it as fast as possible. So I hope they just take their time with it, get out the bugs or get out the stuff that was broken. There was literally people that were Unreal Engine crashing. Like, there was a guy in Discord that just kept crashing like 10 times, like over and over and over and over again. So they just reverted it and probably went back to just do some more testing on it. Yeah, it's better to roll it back than just let it go busted. Yeah, no, for sure. I still think they should have wiped when Town Vassal Progress bugged out after the Steam launch. And there's still so many bugs with vassalization. I don't like the way vassalization works, personally. I think it would be nicer and better if mayors actually had some kind of an authority of what settlements get vassalized to whom. You know what I'm saying? Like, if we can have like a vote, right? So if like the mayor says, hey, as the mayor of Jova, I want to I was gonna say I want to hydrate. Thank you, brother. I want to vassal with Halcyon. That's our first vassalship. And then it comes to like a town vote for the next, like, 6 hours or something like that. And then if the vote goes through and it's a yes, then we vassalize with Halcyon. Like, I want it to feel a little bit more interactive like that. I don't like the fact that vassalization happens just automated and you have there's no rhyme or reason or no, like any choice in the matter. Like, I think that's what I don't like about it personally. They should just try to test some of the patches and sort of PTR. I don't know if they have, that's, yeah, well, it's hard to get people into PTR when nothing's exciting in it. You know what I mean? That's my thing. So I want mayoral commissions. Yeah, and I think that was in the patch, wasn't it? And I think that's still something that they're trying to do. I mean, we'll see. Do you see a new trend? Crate baiting for bots moved to main cities, and now they put it in crowd near trading posts. It was one now death each 10 to 15 seconds. Yeah, I did see that. I saw people were actually putting crates, open crates in processing stations and having people die at processing stations, which would suck really hard. But yeah, I have heard about it. Do you think they would wipe one server and not another? Seems like the other servers were hit pretty hard with dupes other than Troll. I'm of the opinion if they're going to wipe, just wipe everything. That's my thing. It's the same thing with a fresh start, right? Like anytime like we've gotten a fresh start, everybody migrates over to the fresh start servers. Like, didn't that happen in P2? Remember when it happened in P2? Like, it was like, I think 2.5 and everybody was on the mega server, right? Because it's like, there was like other servers that people went on for sure, but people wanted to go to the fresh start because it's just, that's what people always want to do. You see, I'm glad I didn't buy in and just watching closely for things to get closer to Steve's vision for the complete game. Yeah, and this is why I said, this is why, and I'm so glad, Dave. Hopefully in my head, I'm just gonna imagine that you watched my stream and you said, you know what, Vladis, I'm gonna listen to you and I'm not gonna buy the game. And now, because you didn't buy it, you're like, I am so glad I listened to Vladis and I didn't buy Ashes of Creation. Because again, I don't want people's first experience to be this, is my thing. Like, this level of communication, this level of like patch cycles, this level of content, this level of brokenness. I would rather a person's first time feel way better than what it is currently, because any live launch is going to feel better than any alpha experience, in my opinion. Let me see. In my opinion, if you do PTR stuff, you should get transmog rewards for live game. I would 100% love to have the chest that says tester. I mean, I kind of don't care about transmog too much personally. I just would rather have like, if I want to go into PTR, it's because there's things in there that I want to test myself, and I don't want to feel pressured to go into the PTR. I mean, that's why Steven said that they hired like outside consultants for testing in Mexico and in Europe. Like, where are those people? Like, why aren't they like testing, doing the PTR stuff and hammering out those bugs? You know what I'm saying? Node vassalize every close node. This prevents top tiered cities from being close to each other. Well, so again, I think there should be limits to vassalization, but I think it should be somewhat conducted by the mayor and by the town. And I think once there's a like little left of options, then your options just become narrower and narrower, right? I'm not saying that I want the system to be broken because of player choice, but I want at least the start of it to feel like that was our decision and not just it feeling automated by the system. Like, that's my thing. Are skills going to stay this boring and repetitive? No. Abilities, passives, everything is going to evolve like as the game moves forward. I mean, pretty much once we get secondary augments, once we get the new talent trees, there's going to be a lot of ability refreshes and just potential whole ability reworks. I mean, who knows? I mean, like I said, anything you see in this game, just take it with a big grain of salt that everything is subject to change eventually. I would. Let me see. It's alpha, wipe often, let people start thinking this is anything other than a work in progress. I agree. Ashley, I watched a lot of Ash's content, not just yours, but my own conclusion was I need to wait. Oh, honestly, Dave, yeah, like I said, I'm just going to pretend in my own little fantasy mind that that's what happened. But I am glad you waited, you know what I mean? And again, I know there's people that did buy into it and they're having a good time, and I'm really glad they're having a good time. But I just feel like the average Steam user, right, that goes in Ash's Creation right now is just not going to have a good time. They're just not. And it's a shame, you know what I mean? Like, it's something that I want Intrepid to be able to legitimately like earn their keep, right? Earn, like, the people that are spending $50 feel like that's like, man, I don't regret spending this $50. And I just want people to feel good about the purchase. But I feel like right now, like I am a unicorn in a field of horses kind of thing. Like I'm very much an exception and not the rule. So I always try to like look out for the average person. I feel like the next wipe has to go with a gigantic update, instancing tech, caravan revamp, do fixes, better bot detection, etc. Wiping now, the same thing's going to happen almost immediately. And that's why I don't want to wipe. I know people have been advocating for a wipe, but every time I've advocated for a wipe, it's because I want those systems to change. The last time I was advocating for a wipe is because we still had static node rarity, and I knew that the non-static rarity system was on the horizon. And I'm like, if that's happening, then fucking wipe it. There's no sense in then going from static node rarity to no static rarity when people are like going in and hoarding like a bunch of epics and legendaries because of timers. So like I'm all for like fixing the game, and whenever certain big systems like vassalization, like settlements, like settlement XP, like other game loops, if those are fixed, then that would, in my opinion, constitute for a wipe to see what that new data brings. That's my thing. I listened to Vlad and bought gold. Oh my god. Oh my god. Buying the game, in my opinion, is all about perspective. Expect a complete game disappointing. Other hand, I have 775 hours on Steam and still loving the game. Yeah, I mean, I think it is. I think most average people's perspective is to play a game. And that's the reality. I don't think anybody sees this as an alpha, and most people argue that it's not alpha. It's an early access title, and people's expectations of early access titles are very different. So that's my thing. Wipe weekly and ruin the RMT gold markets. I don't know, man. Like I'm of the opinion right now where the whole gold market and everything, like buying gold and buying all this shit is just kind of crazy. And I'm of the mindset right now where I would rather just go complete scorched earth. And I think we honestly have enough data for economy. Like, I think economy should, like, I think the first month of like people actually naturally going in and doing the economy stuff would be okay. And then after that, just put in a gold person and just give you unlimited gold if you want it. Like, seriously, it's a fucking test. And you know what that would screw it over? Not players. It would screw over all the RMT websites that are selling gold to people. Because if you had a fucking gold person and they're just giving you 1,000 gold anytime you wanted to, why are you going to buy it? Fuck them. That's what I say. It's so strange that they still haven't nailed down making the game fun at all stages, then added that from added on from that. My experience was fun for 1 to 25. Then after, it's just been a PvE grind. Their priorities seem so random and unorganized. The patches show that. I think right now this is why I think they need to like kind of bury their head in the sand. That's probably the wrong analogy. Like basically just head down, work, get stuff, get the things that people are wanting from the game, and do that, right? Like that's, in my opinion, what they need to do. So, and I'm pretty sure they're doing that. It's just, like I said, we need this live stream to kind of tell us like what's the deal, like what's been going on. You see, there's plenty of early access games on Steam that are very fun, and they all have the same tag Ashes does. No, for sure. And I think that's why everybody's opinion on what an early access title is very skewed, right? Because you play one early access that feels more like a beta, then you feel another early access that is really rough and very unrefined, and then you have other early access titles that are, you know, kind of in the middle. Like that's why early access, the title to me means nothing personally. I'm mostly into like where is the game realistically? You know what I'm saying? Is this very early in production? Is this kind of in the middle? Is this towards the end? Like, where are we? Let me see. Stop spending time on RMT, just ban buyers and focus on game mechanics. I mean, I agree 100%. Let me see. Show the testers in golden gear, balance the economy after you have the systems built and stable. Yeah, I think right now, like the whole botting and why everybody's doing that is because it's just so lucrative to sell gold and people are desperate for it. And so my opinion is, if it's alpha and it doesn't fucking matter, then why should it matter? Like, again, I want natural testing. I want people to go in and do shit. And I think for the first month, having like that as a natural testing bed is good. But I would rather personally just like, you know, after like 30 days, all right, guys, we're just putting in a gold vendor, and then, you know, fuck it. You can just get unlimited gold if you want to. You don't, I mean, again, RMT websites will still buy like, people will still want to buy gear, right? Like just because you have unlimited gold, like then you'll be able to test all the systems you want, right? Then you'll be able to like buy anything you want. But I think realistically, like a lot of things isn't going to feel like it matters, but it honestly doesn't right now anyway. So I don't know. That's just like my take with it. I did want to watch a video because I saw that my buddy Roar put out a video, and it's called Ashes of Creation. Hello. And I just want to see like what he's talking about. It's a short video. It's like 5 minutes long. But I kind of wanted to check out the video and see like what he's been thinking about Ashes, because I did talk to him the other day, but I haven't really talked to him too much about Ashes. So I wanted just to see excuse me, I wanted to see like what his take has been so far on the recent stuff and the recent situation regarding Ashes of Creation. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. I'll put on my headphones. All right. There we go. Let me know if the volume is too low.
All right, so what exactly is going on with Ashes of Creation? I'm not here to join the doom posters or scream that the sky is falling, but if you've been around the project as long as I have, then you know that something just feels different. There's like a change in the wind, and right now, it's a cold one. We've spent years, nearly a decade for some of us, clinging to the promise of a glorious MMO RPG, but lately, feels like we're watching that fire go out while the developers stay silent in the dark. We've had a brutal winter break filled with dupes and game-breaking bugs and systems that just flat out didn't work, and we all waited for the team to come back and hit the ground running, but instead of the transparency that we were promised, we've been met with breadcrumbs and a level of silence that's becoming almost impossible to ignore. You have to understand why this hurts. We used to have Steven in Discord almost every day, acting as that beacon of hope, answering the tough questions and reminding us why we're all here. Now we go days sometimes without even so much as a word. I know there have been mentions of health reasons, and I'm not really here to pry into anyone's personal life, but in the middle of a critical alpha, that silence creates a vacuum, and right now the vacuum is being filled with frustration and doubt.
Exactly. And I think if they were to just have communicated the game problems and things that people are going on about, because I think this goes further beyond the whole RMT and botting discussion, which has plagued the Ashes general chat and taken over this whole thing, right? Because you just people nonstop talking about bot. But to me, there's just so much more issues. And they've talked about botting. They've talked about like what they're planning to do about it. I don't think that's what it really is. There's so much more game issues at play. So I don't know. Let's keep saying what he's saying. What a face to boss on. What a face indeed, brother. What a face indeed.
You see the community turning sour on Reddit and Discord. It's not because they hate the game. It's because they're terrified that the dream is slipping away. And let's be real about the state of the game we're actually playing. We're being told this is an alpha, yet it's being treated like a live service game with a $50 price tag and 24/7 servers and a cash shop. You can't have it both ways.
Oh, you can. And this is the problems you get because of having it both ways. This is what I talked about yesterday in my stream, or not yesterday, sorry. Last time I streamed, is this whole live service, but it's an alpha thing, is two conflicting ideologies that have two conflicting results because of it. And I'm of the mindset now that I think going 24/7 like servers with no downtime was such a bad move. I would rather literally go to anything else. I like literally, no, more specifically, I would rather have the game be on for a month and then go off for a month, go on for a month, go off for a month. Like that's what I would rather have. But I know that that's probably not going to happen. And it's unfortunate because I feel like they can keep their head down And hell, even if they take the live service game down, and then even for their like the off month, you can just put PTR up. You know what I'm saying? Like just put PTR up and have us like actually test these big patches. If you want to do big patches, that's how I would do it. You know what I'm saying? So let me see. I'm sick of this WoW Midnight ad. I don't even play WoW. Yeah, I think it's because it's an MMO, and that's the new MMO that's coming out soon. I think, what is it? Isn't Midnight coming out like in March or something like that? Oh, wait, Jeffrey Bard left. He was fun. Loved to PvP. Bro, come on, video games. Come on. Let me see. You will watch Blizzard cinematics and you will like it. I can assure you I won't. I bounced off the WoW trial 5 times and still don't care. Bro, I've been playing WoW for 20 years and said I was going to quit quit a WoW like at least 19 times.
If you want us to be testers, then you need to treat the data with respect. I caught a lot of heat for my wipe speech, but I'm standing by it. We've had a massive dupe that absolutely decimated the economy. When 50% of your game is built on economy, gathering, crafting, and trade, and that data gets corrupted by duped gold in items, what are we even testing anymore? How can the developers balance a player-run world when the foundation is built on bugs? I don't care about my character level or my gear. Wipe it all. All I want is the game of the future to be good. And you
Did they make an announcement? Well, someone tagged me in the general chat. In ashes. I don't see. Yeah, they announced it on the 23rd, which is the Friday, which they always do that. But they haven't did any announcement saying, hey, tomorrow, or less than 48 hours, less than 24 hours. Again, just scroll up on the ashes or on the news. It literally tells you, like, you know, all the little less than 24 hours. They usually do that stuff, and they just haven't. So sorry, I came in late. What's with the stream title? Are they delaying live stream? I mean, like I said, I believe they are until I am told otherwise, because usually, like I said, they'll do a 24-hour post saying in less than 24 hours you're going to get the live stream, and that hasn't happened. So I don't know if they're potentially assessing a delay for the live stream. I hope the live stream's still tomorrow for sure, but you know, we'll see what happens. It's so funny how many people hate aesthetic rarity that had no clue what that even meant. Very true.
can't build a future on broken data. The reality is that players are
also
leaving
true.
and they don't seem to be coming back anytime soon. The population is dipping and you can feel it in the world. People hit level 25 and they just realize that there's really not much to do except for grind mobs or resources for hours on end, or just run crates until your eyes bleed. I've spent streams just running crates and viewers come in asking like, what is this game? And right now the answer is, this is it. The in-game content is bland. The Harbingers were broken for ages. The skill gap has become replaced by a massive power gap. If you're a level 25 in common gear, you might as well be 15 levels behind someone in, epic or legendary gear. There's no skill involved. It's just raw power. And that is a recipe for a dead game. And then we have...
I mean, I'm all for gear feeling powerful, but I think the gear stat distribution is way the fuck off. Like, and there's so many numbers that are also just way off. Like getting the amount of carcasses you get for hunting, the amount of materials required to craft certain pieces of items. Like, numbers, I think in Ashes right now are all over the place. Like, there's so much number tuning that I believe needs to happen for it to feel way the fuck better. But yes, if you're in like uncommon radiant gear and you face someone that's like even heroic, bro, the gear, like your gear carries you to an insane level. Like I could be in heroic radiant gear fighting someone that's like really fucking good, that knows their class really fucking well, And I, as a shitter PvPer, can probably take them on. Like, that's how bad it is. Like, and that shouldn't happen. Like, gear should be sort of a crutch, but not that big of a crutch, you know? And it's really fucking wild, especially the power stat. Power is everything in Ashes.
The clown show of recent patch cycles. In nearly 30 years of playing MMOs, I have rarely seen a developer have to revert a patch as often as Intrepid has lately. We've had patches that destroyed crafting quality, patches that completely borked keybinds, and patches that reset characters to level 1. Even after these things were tested on the PTR, they still managed to break the live environment.
They were only tested by 76 people in the PTR. Let's be very clear about that.
It's getting harder and harder to defend this. I've been one of the biggest advocates for giving them a chance, but how many first impressions does the studio get between the rough Alpha 2 launch and the broken early access? The good grace of the player base is running thin. But there needs to be a little bit of inspirational truth behind this. We are still here because we believe in the potential of Verra. We saw the response to like my fishing and crate guides. People are hungry for these systems to work. They want to be a part of something legendary. The recent layoffs were a gut punch, and whether they were due to budgeting or just poor performance, they send a signal of retreat. But we don't want a retreat, we want a rally. There is a developer live stream coming up, and it cannot be business as usual. Intrepid cannot ignore the hacks, the bots, and the dupes. You cannot tell us you have safeguards while we watch the same bots come back right after a ban. We need more than the breadcrumbs. We need a roadmap.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact that, like, you know, the whole stuff that Roshan talked about, right? That it's not against TOS for a banned person to make another account. So it's like, if you have someone that's in the RMT game, well, okay, we banned that account, but then they just bought another one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always thought the philosophy was going to be ban the player, not the account, but it seems that that's changed, or we're just going to put our hands up in the air and be like, well, what can we do? Right? Like, any solution that we try to put in, they're going to find some way to weasel around it. And while that might be the case, you still need to put up you still need to put up a fight. You need to put up protections and defenses against those people. Like, you need to make it annoying as fuck for those players to come back to the game. And if you're trying to make it this open door policy, then guess what? It's going to be even more of a rampant thing, even with what all you guys are doing. So if you guys are, in my opinion, like wasting your team's time by going after botters and RMTers in an alpha, then you're literally just pouring water into a sinking hole in a tub, right? If you're putting water into that tub and there's a big hole in it, that's exactly what you guys are doing. So, like, I don't understand. Like, to me, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know.
Map of action. Tell us how you're going to fix the economy. Tell us how you're going to bring the fun back to the end game. Show us that the vision hasn't been lost in the technical debt. My play sessions have slowed down as well. I've been taking a bit of a break from the grind myself. I'm waiting to see what the future holds. I think that's the right play for a lot of us. We are waiting for a reason to log back in, not just to test, but to play, because it is a live service game after all. The community is starting to turn, but they haven't walked away yet. Steven, Intrepid, prove the doomers wrong. Address the problems and address them fast. Address them honestly. And let's get back to...
I don't know if addressing the problems are going to be enough. Again, like, words, and I've always known Steven is very good with words. He is a very good public speaker. It's really about action, right? And I think the recent actions that Intrepid has done, even from last year to now, like, I think this probably doesn't go towards people that are early accessors, because y'all haven't really been in the community long enough. But to the people like myself, Roar, and others that have been here since the start of Alpha 2, like, have seen their actions and their missteps. And I'm not saying this is like the final time for me or whatever. It's not. But to others, it might be. And I don't blame them. You know what I mean? Like, every single decision now is going to cost you something, good or bad. And I'm of the opinion of, I would rather have you guys cook more heavily and more more effectively than to feel like you're rushing a patch out to appease us. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys really need to be very much more methodical in y'all's back end, and whoever is managing teams as far as QA, they need to be tighter and they need to have a more thorough check of systems and of performance and of just everything, like everything. And if that takes another 2 weeks, then so be it. I again, right now, people are, yes, they're playing the game. Some people are having fun. Some people are bored. Some people are going to go away, and that's fine. You're never going to appease everybody, but the people that are choosing to stay here, even after it all, you can't afford to mess those people up. You can't afford to piss those people off. And I think right now, like, those people are very much upset, like, which is not just the more, I care about Ashes, but I really don't care. It kind of is what it is. If the game is good, I'll play it. If the game isn't good, I won't play it. Like, I don't think those people are your target demographic. I think the people that are good, or the people that are firm in the community, like, those people are very much being affected by these decisions. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Sure does, but I'll get rid of the bots. Just become a gold undercut battle. No, the overlay was the problem. Also, cutting crafting costs changed, and gear doesn't drop anymore. So too many viable changes to say exactly what the culprit is. You're looking for the game being out in 3 years or so, and for unfortunately, so expect lots of ups and downs. Yeah, that's very fucking true.
Building the game that we were promised. I'm still hopeful, but I'm also done making excuses. Let's see what tomorrow's live stream brings, and thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Yeah, this was a great video. Here, 1 second. Let me give it all to you guys. If you want to go and subscribe to my buddy Roar, go give him a like. He's been making really, really great Ashes of Creation content. It was a very good video. Honestly, like, I don't know, dude. I am just at a point right now where I always try to be as realistic as possible, and I think the realistic situation right now is just very frightening, because it feels very much like an eggshell situation, like walking on eggshells. And I don't know, like, I think at the end of the day, excuse me, we need a win, and it's not going to be a win because they said the right thing. It's going to be a win because they're actually implementing the changes and doing those changes effectively. And again, I'm not saying that every patch needs to be like completely unbroken and so like goes off without a hitch. It'd be nice for sure, but the levels of almost just feels like an incompetency. You know what I mean? It's just like some of the things that were broken in this patch that people were experiencing was just like, how is this like not looked at? Like, how were these things missed? It just seemed very odd. Let me see. Yeah, my point isn't aesthetic rarity, but rather feedback that we're giving. We give feedback on things that we see and assume we know the processes that lead into this resolution, but in reality, we're probably making wrong assumptions and blaming wrong things. I would say to an extent that's true, but you have to be honest to yourself on what you're giving feedback on. And sometimes, again, even if that seems like you're pointing people out or pointing, teams out, or you're pointing Intrepid out, like, I think as long as you're being respectful about it, I honestly feel like it doesn't even matter. Like, as long as you're putting your feedback out there, I think that's the most important thing. And whether stuff is happening in the back end or behind the scenes in that fashion or not, they'll understand and take whatever they can from your feedback. I think that's what it is. It all depends on how long it is, or it takes to fix the problems that we need to be fixed and to add things need to be added. If they start steamrolling W updates, the game can be fixed within Q2 by 2026. I wouldn't say by Q2 2026, but I think by Q2 2026, we would be in our valley, or we would be in our hill instead of the valley. And I think that to me is more realistic. I'm not trying to cope anyone out, but all I want is for us to get out of our current valley and start heading uphill to brighter, more sunny pastures. And I think if they can just, keep, understanding what the player concerns are, going in that direction, putting out the content, putting out the patches, whether they go off without a hitch or not, I think it's more so just having to revert it. Like I expect certain things to be like maybe some hot fixing or to like, hey, sorry, we missed this thing. But for very critical issues to go live in a patch that was supposed to be tested and supposed to feel like, I don't know, like that to me is just wild. It's just wild. It's not acceptable. Let me see. So to give feedback, you need to know how things work. So to give feedback on food, you need to know how to cook it. I'm confused. Or you need to know. Oh, were you talking to Solo? Oh, okay. Sorry, I know y'all having a whole discussion. Did you see dev file marks? There's a lot of messages like help, this is not working or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly when it comes to some of the dev code, like I know people were kind of exacerbating, all of that and maybe not exacerbating, but I think more so just pointing out the reality. But yeah, I mean, I would assume, if it's code that people are trying to work on and some person that's more green in the coding world is like, I need a help from a senior, person. Like I'm trying to do this, but it's not working. Help. Like I don't find a problem with that. You know what I mean? But did they get the help? You know what I'm saying? Like, did they just, code it the best way they could and they didn't get the help and they were just like, well, I asked for help. No one helped me. This is the situation then, I don't know. Do you know how static rarity actually worked? Static rarity was very simple. So anytime you saw a node on the floor, whether it was mining, whether it was a tree, whether it was a herb or a flower, anything except for fishing and hunting, that was a static rare or a static rarity, meaning it was always going to be common, uncommon, rare, heroic, epic, or even legendary. So once it spawns again in that spot, it'll be the same rarity again. So people knew certain trees had like 4.5 hour timers, certain mines had 4.5 hour timers, some timers were 2.5 hours long. And all you need to do is once you find an epic or a heroic or a legendary, you just go back in 4 hours and gather it again. And now you have another 5 or another, 3 legendaries. And that's what people did. And people did do it. So, and that only lasted, I think, in a 24-hour period. After 24 hours, then that particular spawn would not be the same rarity. Now it would go somewhere else. So that's basically how it worked. As I said, they give us an update on major content comes next, and as well as updates that they're trying to fix near to. And I think that's what they're going to do. Like, I don't think they're really going to give us a roadmap. I hope they don't give us a roadmap, to be honest with you. I just want to know what's in the next major update. What are their core fixes? What are they trying to accomplish? Are they listening to our feedback? Is that something that people have been, interested in? That's sort of what I'm interested in. I have a feeling there would be beta 1, 2, and 3 still waiting for castles, underrealms, and PvP fixes. Yeah, aren't we all, brother? Aren't we all? Let me see. Static rarity, printed money. If you knew the spot, exactly. Let me see. Please give this theme some attention. This is wild. This theme. What theme? Like, what are you talking about? This is wrong. This is not how it worked. You could only get the same nodes a few times before it switched. I thought it was within a 24-hour period, because I saw people getting almost like 35 to 40 legendaries like a day. And even if it wasn't in a 24-hour period, if you can get that much epic or heroic from a single node by spawn camping it, like that's kind of wild. And I think, again, we have a way better system now than what it was. Wouldn't the old static rarity in that case promote potential PvP if the location is always the same in rarity? You would think that, but for how big the world is, it just became, if you found it first, how is anyone going to know? So if someone, if rarity was on your map and you could go and see where all the rarity was, then yes, it would create PvP. but that's not how it worked. So they were trying to create a whole pylon system, and that never came in, thus never creating the PvP that people wanted. And then it was just removed entirely, which that was like the biggest resounding thank God from everybody. Let me see. We just need attention on this because it's this is depressing for 500 plus people. This them need you. Sorry for spamming. Link in chat on Reddit. Check Ash's Discord. What had happened in Ash's Discord? Oh, social media, man. Here we go. What did I say? Verra is still growing, and we know the road hasn't been easy. We shared a director's letter addressing the top concerns we're hearing around RMT, bots, PvP systems, bugs, performance, along with what's ahead. Our next development update moves to February 13th, 2026, where we'll outline Q1 plans and next steps. Thank you for walking this journey. Well, who is a Notre Dame now, Phantom X? I mean, it was a feeling. Like I said, I had a feeling. Let's go over this, guys. Here we go. So, director's letter to the citizens of Verra. To our glorious community, Ashes of Creation exists because of you. Every tester who logs in reports a bug and challenges to do better. This world is shaped not just by our developers, but by the people who believe in what Verra can become. We know that some of you are frustrated right now. We feel that. You've been candid about the issues impacting your experience and deserve clarity and honesty in return. These concerns we hear most clearly. Here we go. Man, imagine if this was done in the early parts of January. Oh my God. All right. Well, it's happening now. So let's go through it. The impact of RMT bots and cheating on fairness and progression, PvP corruption systems that don't feel yet consistent nor fully realized, issues surrounding caravans, crates, and risk versus reward gameplay, content and system bugs that interrupt gameplay, performance and stability problems that you've been pulled out of the world. These are not small things. They touch the core of what Ashes of Creation is meant to be, a living player-driven MMORPG where your time, effort, and choices matter. We are actively working on these areas, and many of them are deeply interconnected. Solving one requires structural changes across multiple systems. That's how, or that work is underway. Game development, especially at this scale, is rarely linear. Systems evolve, assumptions are challenged, foundations must sometimes be reworked, so what comes next can stand strong. That process can be uncomfortable, particularly in an open development environment where you can see the seams as they are stitched. But it is also what allows us to build something ambitious, durable, and worthy of your investment. We can, to assure we can speak clearly and thoroughly about what's next, we've moved our upcoming development update on Twitch to February 13th, 2026, 11 a.m. Pacific. In that update, we will walk through our Q1 plans and outline the next steps of Ashes of Creation, what we're prioritizing, why those choices matter, and how they connect to the issues you're experiencing today. Let me see, you've joined us on a journey, not a finished road. That doesn't mean you should accept broken systems or an unclear direction. It means you're a part of a process that requires iteration of a world in the making. We are grateful for your patience and passion. It comes from a place of care. Verra is still growing. We remain deeply committed to making a world worthy of your time, your stories, and your belief. Thank you for walking this path with us. With respects and gratitude, the Ashes of Creation team. So, hello, I'm here to blame you for calling the delay. Thank you. All right. Well, it's like I said, I don't think I was too much of a prophet. Again, I've been in this. I think anyone in the community would have realized, isn't this seem kind of odd that they hadn't posted like any kind of 24-hour, like waiting for the next live stream or waiting for this or waiting for that? Like, I think anyone would have put this together. I just said it more publicly. I think that's about it. Let me see. The problem is the campable, no way to know from about people. Let me see. So it's just no brother. Thank God they got rid of that shit. Oh, y'all are still talking about the whole static node rarity. Nice, dude. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Look, but I'm not here for your fancy words or beliefs. I'm here to seed, mate. Oh my God. No, I prefer gear-based RNG, and they announced static rarity. Let me see. I just wish they kind of did their monthly live stream updates and just update us on where they're at. I don't care about where they want to be. I want to know what they have right now, even if it's nothing. You see, Steven was lurking your streams and thought delay. Okay, if that's what Vlad is saying, then we must do it. I seriously doubt that. Let me see. It's going to be a long February, fellas. So here's my thing. I think, look, this is what I kind of wanted from the very get, like at the start of the year. These things right here, was stuff that people were literally feedback on in December. And because of Intrepid literally going away for vacation from December 20th to January 1st, there was like, of course it always happens right during the Christmas breaks, but there was just this sort of like unraveling that started to happen. And as January got here, the unraveling got deeper. And as week 1 into January, it got deeper, and it just got deeper and deeper. And I think there were certain things that kind of made it feel good. Like once we got the wall of shame and people were waiting for like the bands and the band list and the whole wall to come up. And they did do that, which was a huge W on their end, which, I think the whole community appreciated. But it just felt like if you didn't care about bots and RMT and you still were only doing like 20v20 because anything bigger was just going to like bork your server worker and you can't do effective PvP, like where was your, like what was your disposition then, right? Like where was Intrepid's stance on that? Like where was all the feedback left on that? And it just felt like outside of game issues, they just felt very silent on, which didn't feel good. Like no one felt good about like them not addressing like these specific things. Like this was being talked about to hell and back. These things right here are what people wanted, like the reassurance on, the things that players were more specific on, like crates, on caravans, on content, on performance, on stability, PvP. Like all of those things were all things that players were talking about in a very, very in-depth way, like very passionate. And I think that was where it just felt silent on Intrepid's end. But honestly, like I wish the live stream was happening tomorrow, man. Like I don't know what's waiting 2 weeks going to do. And it's not even the 6th. So it's not even next Friday. It's the following. So I don't know. Like I honestly don't know what 2 more weeks is going to do. I don't know. I feel like our job is to give feedback on information that we have access to, and Intrepid's job is to filter the noise and figure out what needs to be done. Yeah, 100% agree with that. I do. And I think it's been their job to do that. And I don't know. I don't know, man. Yes, as annoying as an ARM team bots are, those other issues are bigger and hurt the game more than at this point. Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like they're all important. They're all important, but I feel like this has taken up the most oxygen in the room, while people have been shouting from the rooftops about all this stuff, but we can't stop talking about bots. Like I think bots is like the one part that we've been literally having a discussion in Discord till this day. So there's so many more issues though that impact the game, the actual game that we're trying to play. And again, bots does impact for sure. Not saying it doesn't. But I can guarantee you, if bots existed, but all of these things were freaking fixed and fun and in a way more engaging way, I think people would start forgetting about bots in the game. Seriously, I really do. Like, I think bots would be very much a back-end discussion at that point. The point is that the game feels terrible right now, and people are piling on bots as the scapegoat for their frustration. Like, that's really what's been happening, in my opinion. Yeah, bots aren't on team happen in every game. Exactly. Like, and it's going to happen in Ashes. Like, no matter how good the game gets, no matter how awesome their protections are, botting will always continue to be there. If you're interested in playing the Burning Crusade, like classic or whatever in World of Warcraft, I challenge you whenever, look about a week or 2 weeks in Burning Crusade and go to Hellfire Peninsula and go to Hellfire Ramparts and look to see how many druids and rogues you see coming in and out of that dungeon back and forth. Like, the game's fucking how many years old at this point? Almost 20 years old. and there's still bots in World of Warcraft. Like it's a fool's errand to think that Ashes of Creation is gonna be this one company that's gonna eliminate bots completely. Like I think they could limit it for sure, but it's not gonna ever go away. And because Ashes has a very important open world dynamic, you're always going to see bots in the world. This is why people want live GMs, because if live GMs are playing the game every single day like we are, they can go to those bots and as quickly as they see them, as quickly as they can be banned. But it's going to be a constant whack-a-mole. And I'm pretty sure that person's job is going to be constantly basically banning bots more so than taking care of other GM issues. So that's kind of it. I mean, that's the whole TLDR of like this thing. But yeah, it's unfortunate, man. I was really looking forward to live stream tomorrow, but I mean personally, I don't think I'm Nostradamus or anything like that. I just put two things together and realized there was something odd afoot. I started this game as a noob a few years ago. This game is horrible when it comes to the player base having correct info. Once I had to data mine and spreadsheet chats to open my eyes. Are you talking about Ashes or another game? I don't know. Honestly, like I don't think this is a very binary decision for me. As far as if it was a W or an L to delay the live stream. I wanted the live stream to happen tomorrow, but if it's going to happen 2 weeks from now, it just sort of is what it is. I'm going to say a D for disappointed. It's not a win or a loss. I'm just disappointed, really. Let me see. Because I think this is the other problem with it too. Now that it's been delayed, I think expectations are going to be even higher because of this. That's my thing. And now that you're setting, because naturally people's expectations are going to go even higher, it's going to create, and if you just deliver a very mediocre thing, a mediocre live stream, and you just basically reiterate to players that this is what you're going to fix, I don't know if that's going to go over well with people, is my thing. I don't know. I want these things fixed, like I do, but if you delay the live stream 2 weeks just to reiterate the same points that are in this director's letter, I don't know. That to me is not a sign of something good to come from the community. Vlad, did you ever consider that you're not seething, that you're a white knight? Did you consider that, huh? I have considered it for sure. I mean, but what's the point of me getting all angry and upset about this? Like, again, I'm just disappointed. I mean, you can be upset all you want. I mean, it's funny to me, like people always want me to act the way that they want me to act, but, oh, you were memeing? I mean, it's always so hard because sometimes, especially in chats, this is why I hate text, by the way. I'm not a texter, I'm a talker. But there are people who do want me to act a certain way. And honestly, like, I think it really pisses people off that I don't react the way they want me to. And the truth of the matter is that I get very disappointed with how Intrepid has just been handling communication. Like it's something that I've always felt problematic. And it's, again, there's been live streams dedicated to this. Like, if you remember, like, I think it was a couple of months ago, I think it was either the November or September live stream where they literally talked about like upping their communication and being, you know, very open with the community and just blah, 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 blah. And I just feel like communication just gets better at a, you know, for like a limited period of time. And then it goes back to just being crickets, you know? And I just don't know what that is. The real issue is I have 20K channel points and no fun ways to spend them. I have fun things coming. I actually have been watching and toying with the idea of gambling on my live streams for Twitch, where you can gamble your channel points for really cool little prizes. And I'm really hoping that I can do that probably by soon. I don't want to give a date, but I am working on channel point stuff for sure. Open to development, but closed communication. I can understand how that's how people feel.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah. So Trump said.
Perfect.
I do have some of the audio stuff. I love the audio stuff. Gamble channel points for merch. I am going to do that once I have my merch store back up. It's going to be a very small percentage, of course.
Pretty well. Let me see that.
Ooh. Just don't delay it. Right. I won't. Let me see. I don't think they are in a terrible state. I've made parts of the game. I promise MMOs are awful to make, especially since they are the most systems connected. Yeah, I think right now this is not the worst state Ashes of Creation has been in, but it feels the worst because of the lack of support we feel from the company. Like, I think that's what it feels like mostly. And but I feel like there's certain systems too that have taken steps backwards. Caravans, treasure maps, like PvP, like a lot of stuff just feels like we were in a better state in some of these systems in previous phases that we are now not. As someone who is an avid treasure hunter, I love treasure maps. You have not seen me do a single treasure map this entire time of early access. Why? Because the system sucks. It's fucking terrible. 500K for Vladis hat signed. Yeah, I would definitely do that for sure. Let me see. We need a 5K redemption of Steven saying work in progress montage. Yeah, I could probably work up something like that. I mean, what does transparent development even mean? There's no roadmap. Feedback gets ignored, and forums are a mess. Forums are a mess. But honestly, when it comes to feedback gets ignored, I don't think it gets ignored. I just think there's certain priorities that Intrepid takes that sometimes goes without the community. And because they know the focus is, if they were truly ignorant to this would say literally things that players absolutely did not talk about or cared about or anything. The fact that they were able to literally single-handedly pinpoint every single critical issue shows they're listening. But that actually needs to be shown within their patches, within their patch notes, right? Let me see. What do I think about this delay of the stream, positive or negative? I would say for me more negative. Like I'm just disappointed. Like, I'm not happy about it. I'm disappointed. I want this live stream to be tomorrow, to be honest. I just feel like people's expectations are only going to get higher and higher. Like, that's my thing. And I don't know how people are going to handle that. Because if it's a very average live stream to be delayed an extra 2 weeks, I think people are going to start creating things in their head of what they expect. And if they don't deliver on that, or if they don't talk about certain things in the way that they imagined in their head, people are going to be with pitchforks again. It's going to repeat all over again. Let me see. Real reason you don't see treasure maps anymore is because of how easy they were for mayors. Really? How easy were they for mayors? I mean, I never was a mayor before, but like, again, you know how easy it is for a mayor to find a weeping willow? You know how easy it is for a mayor to find a braidwood? Like, it's easy for a mayor for a lot of things. So I just came here from work, read this letter, and I'm utterly speechless. I have been here before. We thought Intrepid learned their lesson. It's the start of a year. You need to get ahead of the curve to set the pace for the year. Intrepid completely dropped the ball with communication, and in the absence of answers, the community is always think the worst as it's seen on Discord. Yep. Rock to do. What's going on, brother? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well, man. Happy Thursday. I think they want to avoid the word wipe. Easy solution, server mergers, fresh start servers every 3 months, done. Yeah, I honestly feel like 3 months is probably a good cycle, to be honest. If they were to keep a cadence of like every 3 months, let's restart. But I guess for me, I'm just not of the opinion of wiping for the sake of wiping. If the phase is going good, if players are having a good time, why should we then wipe if nothing new is being added, right? Like, I would want there to be some sort of a wiggle room there. Like, if there's wiggle room within your statement, then yes, I'm for it. But if there isn't wiggle room, then I am not. Like, that's my thing. I think we're too focused on the things that we're testing and providing feedback. It just seems like if our feedback isn't being listened to, if they would consistently do as we say, we'd be sailing on rocks. I think there's just, again, players are always going to demand to fix things that we see. and not things that we don't, right? And it's the job of the developer to keep doing the things that need to be done to complete the game. And sometimes like our ideology into what we want and the ideology that devs want clash, because it's like, we understand that you want these systems fixed, but that takes us away from completing the new shit that we would need to add to the game. And again, Intrepid doesn't have a huge team to just like, hey, one whole team of economy is doing future economy shit. This other bit of economy is working on the current economy shit. Like that's not the luxury they have right now. Like World of Warcraft has that luxury to have a whole team working on future shit and a whole team working on the current shit. Ashes does not. Like, and again, if you're asking them to do one thing, it's taking away another thing that they could have done. And that's just the price that we pay and they pay. Like we both pay a price in this. Wiping now would be cleaning your car in the middle of a mudstorm. Yeah, very fucking true. Very, very, very true. Doing pretty good mining all day, every day to get mats on heroic Carfin. And I bought myself a Pyrite Ember Spring longbow. What a beast. Nice, dude. What rarity did you get that? Curiously. I'm curious what rarity you got. You see, XP isn't even the grind. The gear grind is crazy. And once you get that grind, you get to the point where you are happy with. There's nothing else to do because PvP is non-existent. Wow. Very true. Very, very true. Heroic, dude. Nice, man. Heroic weapon for 45 gold. That's fucking cheap. I'm surprised. Usually a lot of that time it's like way the fuck more. I know on our server, anything heroic epic is like anywhere between 100 to 400 gold, which is wild. All right, guys, give me 1 second. I need to go use the bathroom real fast. I'll be right back. Let me put on some music. 1 second. I don't have my music prepared because I didn't do the all right, I'm gonna do music from Whitebed Audio that I never used before. Hopefully it sounds okay. Give me a second. Let me find. All right. All right. 1 second. I'm gonna go use the bathroom real fast. All right, guys. I'm back. Vladis is a short king confirmed. Yes, I am actually 4'9". So it's hard being short, dude. I have to like prop this up. This is like the highest this chair goes. You know, I have to have like a step stool, like for my feet. It's hard. Yeah. Mid confirmed. True. Fucking true. People have no idea, man. It's like anything you do, it's like I am more challenged by, like, you know, if I want to go get a bowl of cereal, like my wife keeps the bowls like on the second shelf in the kitchen, which means I have to get the freaking step better out every time. You know how annoying that shit is? Getting the step stool to get the refrigerator out, get the milk out, like everything just requires more height. So, and see, does she pick you up so you can grab it? Sometimes if she's feeling generous, sometimes. Let me see. Yeah, they need to just be transparent on the 30th. We have 3 to 4 patches planned. Every 3 to 4 months, expect these systems to function but not be perfect, and then we'll see them with flaws. You will find the flaws. That's true. Oh, Jack, you are correct. Vladis live stream delayed for 2 bloody weeks. Yep. I told you, man. I told you. I mean, it sucks, you know, but I mean, I had a feeling something was going on. It just felt, I've said this before, but I honestly mean this. Like, I feel like when January 1st happened and I woke up, I felt like I shifted into this other timeline of insanity. Like, I want to go back to my timeline. Like, I feel like I'm in an incursion right now, and I feel like maybe my universe is like potentially like exploding, or it's going to be destroyed. And I need to like go back. I need to go back to my home, like my Earth 262 or something like that. I don't know. It just feels bad. Let me see. Let me get Ashes up. Wait, there's a PTR update? Did they do some kind of announcement for PTR? Why is there a PTR update? Oh no, people are messaging me now. Where's the, I don't see PTR. Do y'all notice that there's a new build, but I don't see anything in the news? Oh, I don't know why that is. I just noticed that. Is it just me? There's an update pending? Oh no, weird. You as well? I don't know. It's just weird. The fact that it's delayed means that we aren't getting anything new until at the earliest March. This is pretty discouraging on game's progress. I guess it's time to call it quits for months. Well, I think it's just time. Like, if you aren't like having fun with the game right now, then you should just put it down, because it's going to take a while probably for shit to get back on its feet. And this is what I've been saying. Like, I said this, like, if you looked at my stream thumbnails last week, I put up something like major patch in February, or like that would probably be the first major patch, because it seemed to me like when we got that nothing burger patch, I didn't think that would be released in January. I did not think that was gonna be released in January. They tried to push it out, got reverted, but now that we know that we're probably not going to get any kind of a major patch, potentially in February, and if they keep adding on to this patch, then we need to be more thoroughly tested. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that there's more things in that patch that are actually regarding players' feedback, because it seems to me that a lot of the stuff in there, not everything, but a lot of it was just nothing, like literally nothing. So I don't know. Yeah, Resna is one of the bad ones, unfortunately. Try to find a guild though. Take this phase to learn the game and go hard when it wipes. Yeah, I would say that if you're playing Ashes of Creation, you try to find the things that you find enjoyable. And if all you're doing is encountering friction point after friction point, or annoyance after annoyance, my recommendation is just to log out and just stop playing for a bit. potentially a long bit and just come back to the game through maybe a live stream or through if you see like a major patch that kind of may fix this stuff, and you can come in to watch like me live stream, other people live stream, and just kind of see you know, like what the deal is. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's a lot. The frustrating thing is that I like the game and the idea behind it, but it doesn't give me a reason to log in at the moment. Yeah, I mean, and I think for a lot of people that's correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you're alone in that, man. Bro, PTR is crazy. Hunting system and Harbinger system or Harbinger boss is up. Half of the June Dark is corrupt. Level 5 city. Yeah, all those things are working, brother. You guys like going PTR and find them out. Let me see. I bought this game 2 weeks ago and I hate it. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, that's. Yeah. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. And I hope, you know, if you don't like it, then you probably should have done a little bit more research, because there were so many content creators that I saw streaming this game say to people to not purchase it in early access. So I know certain people are impatient and they want to try out the new shiny thing, but it's not as shiny as you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe it's like 50% of a game. Yeah, if that, to be honest with you. Like, if that. From a Trench's history, big patches is very worrying. It's going to be full of bugs. Feedback is going to be crazy. Anti-Scrum philosophy, harder to iterate and fix things. Their dev philosophy is yikes, in my opinion. The big patch that I felt went off pretty well, actually, was the Harbingers one. I don't know about you guys, but I think the launch into early access, for the most part, was pretty good. The only thing that fucking sucked was the queue times. But as far as the game went, I think the game actually was pretty smooth. And that was a fucking monstrous patch. So they're capable of it. It's just, I don't know where it was in this, you know, in these other little smaller ones. Like, that's the thing. It's like, when you know a company is capable, like, where was that capableness in these smaller ones? You know what I'm saying? To be fair, Vladis has been clearly saying just wait and don't buy yet, and wait for Intrepid to develop more. Yeah, I mean, that's, I mean, every dude, Roar's been saying it, Nice has been saying, every live streamer that I've watched has said to just wait. Like, I haven't heard anyone, maybe it could be someone that I don't watch, but I haven't really heard anyone say, oh yes, go buy Ashes of Creation right now, like, it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, I just haven't really heard anybody talk about that. At least in that way. I like how is fix server bump XP and rarity gains like 10 to 20%, like add 50 to 100 crests to get you like 30 levels 38 to 40 to do a thing in economy, and econ to hit 50 GG. I don't know if questing is really going to be the play for this game. I think questing is going to feel very limited in this game in comparison. In my opinion, the amount of quests they need to add is potentially like thousands. Like, if we're trying to imitate something like Classic WoW had 1,600 quests across Horde and Alliance across both continents. So I don't know. Like, that's a lot. That's a shit ton. So who knows? I mean, maybe, you know, maybe it is what it is. Let me see if Vlad is fun sized. Yeah, a little fun sized. I'm easy to carry around, you know? I don't get in the way. Let me see, White Pipe, Friday the 13th. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I didn't even put that into a correlation right now. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold up. Something isn't right. February 13th. Oh no. They're literally putting up the live stream on Friday the 13th. Oh my God. Is this like an omen? Is this like a... Like, I didn't even put that correlation there. Oh, man. Wow. Not October, we are safe. Man. Let me see. That could have been all they had. They need to actually have events, UI, etc. Exactly. I think, you know, kind of testing a back end sort of a system, making sure the boss thing works and everything like that. But if you don't have any events to tie to it, what's the point of releasing the system? You know, like, that's my thing. Every level should have at least 30% XP from quests if you choose to do it. That's a good number for me. Yeah, I think for people it could be, but I think for all of like the WoW people, and again, in World of Warcraft, I would say you did have to grind. Like, even if you were just a complete quester, there were things that, why is it so like glitchy? I mean, I would say usually in Jova, but this is the thing too. It's like, look at all these people. Like, I know the whole meme, it was like Ashes of Creation, dead game or whatever, but bro, like, there's always a shit ton of people playing, like, all the time, you know, at least on Shoal anyway. Let me see. Oh, okay. I thought I had some more shit. Actually, put. Let me see. The good thing about quest, MSQ, repeatable quest, town board, etc., is that you're not forced to do it if you like grinding, skip them all together. No, exactly. And I think that's the way quests should be in Ashes of Creation. I think they should be. Oh my God! You sold 3 rough animals. I sold my 3 legendary emeralds for 18 fucking gold. Let's go. Oh my God! Yes, yes. 56 gold. Oh, that's so good. That's so good. Love it. Yeah, Resna kind of dead. Well, yeah, it's because, again, all of the hardcore sweats went there. They went hard, and now they're not there because they already did everything they needed to do. Like, that's it. I can guarantee you Resna would not be dead if PvP was alive. 100%. If meaningful, let me put this into another perspective, meaningful PvP was alive, that Resna would not be dead. I would expect they announce a restructuring of the studio. Potentially. Maybe. I don't know. I would want not a restructuring. Like, I mean, again, I think if there is people not doing a good job, those people need to be evaluated. And if they need to let those people go, like, if you're not going to offer solutions in your team and all you're going to do is put more strain and frustration on the team by you not being competent at the job, you know, and sometimes people kind of fudge a little on their resume and claim to do things that they actually can't do. And you find that out during the work. Maybe you shouldn't have that person there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my thing, bro. We had people in my job all the time say they had like 20 years experience. And it's like, bro, like, when I heard them talk about insurance, I'd be like, are you sure you have to? Like, I had very little. I was always the least experienced person, and I would be able to talk insurance better than those people. It's fucking wild. It's crazy how many people actually go by with like lying on your resume, but you can go pretty far sometimes by lying. Let me see. Congrats. I spent 8 hours mining sandstone with 600 gathering quality and made bank a while back. Crafted it and or bought green to yellow gear, PvP'd for a bit, then quit when I heard about the tubes. Yeah, I mean, that's I don't blame you. You know, it is what it is. Okay, I already paid my dues. You see Ashley's Twitter account used this tweet, this PvP and questing are a big part of the long-term vision, and early access provided us a way to test those systems. Our focus on each system will continue to evolve as development continues. Sorry, this sent me mobile is bugged. Did they just put that up right now? Hold on. Oh, they just put up the I'll reshare it. For me, they just posted this. Verra is still growing and we have a road that isn't easy or whatever. But I haven't seen, when did they talk about quests? Huh. Interesting. Oh, under their replies. It's great that you're addressing the issues, and it's important that people still acknowledge early access, but it does feel like several of those bullets would be less of a problem if there was a greater focus on PvE and quest lines instead of just being so PvP driven. PvE and questing are a big part of the long-term vision, and early access provides us a way to test those systems. Our focus on each system will continue to evolve as... Yeah, I mean, I hope it becomes a bigger part because, you know, when I interviewed Steven, because anytime I heard of them talking about Ashes, like I always felt like it was just about PvP, and I felt like PvE was always on the back burner. Like if you watched my interview with Steven back in October of last year, I said a little meme thing to him kind of in a sort of jabby way, like, you know, Steven, why do you hate PvEers? And then we got into this whole discussion about PvE, and he's like, why do you think I hate PvEers? And I said, well, it's because, like, you know, dungeons don't have, you know, or like PvP doesn't really have anything PvE related, but you're forcing PvEers to having always to surround systems with PvP, you know? It's, my analogy was like, imagine if a person did an arena, like a 3v3 arena, but outside of killing that person, you also had to do PvE objectives while doing the arena. I don't think PvPers would like that. Like, why are you putting PvE in my PvP? Well, why are you putting PvP in my PvE? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's supposed to be a PvX blend, then why can't you put in both? And to me, I think it's kind of a dumb answer to say that you should have PvE in an arena, because it is dumb. And I think that there's certain systems that should be PvP only. And I also believe that you should have certain systems be PvE only, even in a PvX game. That's my thing. So I know a lot of PvPers didn't like that or whatever, but again, you know what I mean? Like, if you guys can have systems that all it does is cater to your style, why aren't there systems that just cater to my style? You know? So that's kind of my thing. Oh, I had to go back and check on the Snoop Dogg stream. There's Snoop Dogg is streaming. Yeah, so they officially moved the live stream to February. Yep. That's what we were talking about earlier. You know, it is what it is. Let me see. This Harbinger system is the tech used to deliver the PvE story arc system. Well, it's technically a PvX story arc system, because story arcs still have the PvP dynamic in them. Like, story arcs, to say that, oh, it's only PvE is not true, because you can still experience PvE or PvP within story arcs. There's no protection from PvP by doing a story arc. Let me see. I think PvP areas should have little mini bosses that you can fight over for more points. Legislators fight over each other in the line at the same time. I mean, yeah, that'd be interesting. I think that would actually be pretty fun, to be honest with you. But I mean, my whole point is that, like, I don't mind there being exclusive PvP systems as a PvEer. I don't mind that. Like, again, when you duel somebody, there's no PvE objective to do as you're dueling. The objective is to duel the other person. And I think, you know, having an instance dungeon where you only should focus on, you know, the predictable mob NPC behavior, people have fun doing that. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to make it your bread and butter. You don't need to make it the focal point of Ashes of Creation, but you do need it, is my point. And you need to have enough of it for it to feel meaningful to the PvE side. That's my thing. I hate crates. I refuse to run for myself. I do guild runs, but it's so boring. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not really a crate enjoyer personally. I'm more of a caravan enjoyer. I think caravans to me are more fun and more engaging socially. But you might feel the same way about caravans, to be honest. You might feel that they're just as boring as crates. Let me see. Unless you create PvE instance content where PvP gear drops and PvP lawless zones where PvE stuff is, like exclusive nodes, etc., you can have PvP division and PvE division where they both support each other. No, I don't need gear. As someone who wants to do dungeons, I would be totally fine doing it for cosmetic shit. I don't need gear to drop from an instance dungeon. I don't. Maybe I'm in the minority and I'm not speaking for PvEers. I'm just speaking to what I wouldn't mind. I think when it comes to I want the world in Ashes of Creation to remain the most important and relevant. But I like running dungeons for the sake of challenge. I like running dungeons for, you know, doing some really cool shit, fighting some really cool bosses, and being rewarded with and being rewarded for you know, even with like a transmog, I think would be fine, or like a really nice like cosmetic sword, or you know, shit like that. I personally don't need like gear, nor do I need like materials. I think a really good example of this is to basically put like certificates, like dungeon certificates that drop off the bosses, and you can have vendors inside settlements for each specific dungeon within that biome. So like as an example, like let's say Carfin was an instance dungeon, and you can basically go to Merilith because that's where the ZOI of where that dungeon is. And you can basically turn in like Carfin certificates at the vendor to purchase certain transmog pieces. And there's like a whole variety there. You can get the whole costume of Carfin by turning in each certificate kind of thing, or you can get like certain cosmetic stuff from it. Like that's what I would like personally from dungeons, is to actually get stuff in that fashion. Or you can even sell like little like not even that. Like that's all I would need personally. I would be an ecstatic PvEer if I had a system like that in Ashes of Creation. Let me see. I would like to see an open world dungeon in Lawless Land. DAOC had a raid like that, and it worked really well. Fighting the final boss only to get another squad in, and PvP over the boss was so much fun. I've said this. I would be a huge fan of an open world raid. Like think of like Blackrock Foundry and like Warlords of Draenor, and having that be in the actual world, and all the bosses are present, everything is there, and you had to fight over certain bosses, right? Like this is the same thing with world bosses like Tumok or like Firebrand. Holy shit, man, I'm getting really fucking lucky. This is awesome. So yeah, like I wouldn't mind stuff like that. I think that would be fucking badass, to be honest. Let me drink some water because my throat is feeling very grainy. Excuse me. I think you can have that in armor set drops. I feel like having certs only drop in is like a great value version of a dungeon / raid. Yeah, I think personally, like I could see that. I also, again, it would be for me. I'm not making this game, right? I'm just saying what I would be okay with. If they were to put gear, I know gear is always a very contentious subject, especially shit that can be done on repeat, right? But you can have instance dungeons be done once a day, right? Like you can limit how many times. Like it doesn't have to be like World of Warcraft where you can go into a dungeon unlimitedly, basically. But I would be fine with like the tier 1 version, right? Like it like if you can do like a level 10 instance dungeon, a level 20 instance dungeon, level 30 instance dungeon, and you get the tier 1 version that's like very basic. Like maybe you get common or uncommon, common from mobs and then uncommon from bosses. I'd be fine with that. I don't think that would be fucking game breaking at all either. Because it's literally like introductory gear. You know what I'm saying? Like why would anyone be, even me as a crafter, even someone who loves the whole profession stuff, I would not scoff as to something like that. And you could even have that introductory dropped gear be something that is that's not craftable, right? So it's not craftable, and it's not on par with crafted shit. So a crafted tier 1 would actually be better than the dropped dungeon gear that's from the instance dungeon. I'd be totally fine with that. That way, it's like, again, it's for people that just want something to start with, something to have. I don't find anything wrong with that at all. Let me see. I hope they announce a big update on the 14th and that stream of the 13th. I mean, we'll see, man. We'll see. I mean, they reverted the patch yesterday. If they keep adding on to that patch, I want to see what those add-ons are. I want to see like what they continue to offer players in regard to the future, right? Like, because I feel like this batch so far was a big nothing burger. And so as it stands right now, but maybe they add some really cool shit to that patch that's like, wow, okay, like that would be really cool. That's a good change. That's a good fix. Like, that's what I think people are waiting for, right? Is those things. I know plenty of PvP people would love it, but it comes down to skill and not who bought the best gear. Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm not trying to advocate for like high-end gear and instance dungeons either. But I would love like cosmetic stuff personally. I think cosmetic stuff would be fantastic to have, because you can have instance dungeons actually be really challenging because you don't have any threat of PvP. So you really would have to like concentrate on how much you're pulling, on what you're trying to do, like all that stuff. Slim Jim, dude, what's going on, brother? Thank you so much for the raid. Hello. Hi. Welcome, everybody. We're just talking about Ashes of Creation. We're talking about instance dungeons. We're basically just talking about what potential rewards could stem from there and what I would want, what the community wants. But yes, thank you so much, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, so my channel mostly just revolves around Ashes of Creation. So if you love Ashes of Creation, then you came to the right spot. Excuse me. I wouldn't mind the PvP aspect getting ganked and everything if it wasn't punished for getting killed, because I'm not good at it. Well, I think that's where the corruption tuning should come into place, right? And that's something that the director's letter mentioned. And I didn't know if it was going to mention corruption, because corruption was something that people have been talking about for a long fucking time, for at least a year now. So the fact that they're actually talking about corruption, are they going to tune corruption? Are they actually going to make some actual changes? Because we've had the same system that we've had since phase one, basically. So I don't know. It'd be interesting. Tier dungeon would be fun, dude. Yeah, like I would love a tier dungeon. I think tier dungeons would be fucking sick. Let me see. New World scale PvP, not 100%, but close, as well as other games. DAOC, for example, PvP was different than PvE. PvP got its own spec lines and only applied to PvP. Yeah, I am of the mindset of I like gear being different. Like in World of Warcraft, I loved it to where you had your PvP gear and you had your PvE gear. Because now you can make more interesting PvP gear or more interesting PvE gear that caters to those specific things. Anytime I've seen where it's all one gear set, like, oh, you use this gear for both PvE or PvP, it's a watered down version of either side. And I don't like that. I would rather have a more customized gear set for PvP mostly, that has passives or set bonuses that only apply to PvP, than having a generic onesie set that's both good for PvE and PvP. And it's like these generic passives that are supposed to kind of cater to both. Like I'm more of a fan of the former than the latter. Let me see. I think instancing tech will finally come online and maybe caravan overhaul. I hope so, brother. I mean, that sounds great and all, but we definitely need to, we need to see what they do for sure. A resilience stat. It doesn't have to be a resilience stat. Like I don't care. All I want is more interesting gear sets. And when you have like the shared system, like the way we currently have now, and probably even in the future, I just feel like sets and set bonuses are just going to be very generic. Like when I look at sets right now and I see like the 8-piece set, and look at all the little things that are there, they're just very generic looking, you know, like I don't really get excited for what I see, from them. And so it just, you know, it is what it is, but I want stuff to feel like more ooh la la than what it is. Let me see. The problem is that most PvE in this game is open world. You would get stomped on doing anything important. Well, that's what I mean, right? Like that's where I think certain PvEers like want certain challenges from the game where they don't have to involve PvP. And I think that's fine. Like I do. Like I'm not saying that it should feel very like confined and you're like the PvEers are always in instances like all the time. Like I don't want that. And again, you can have instancing even in dungeons feel limited. But there should be places where that challenge exists for players, you know, like that's my thing. Let me see. Only reason I say this is because they said it was coming Q1, obviously. Can be delayed, but I hope not. Yeah, I hope not either, man. I think we needed it sooner rather than later. Literally my main issue, I love the game, but we aren't fixing issues players are currently working with and always hope new content coming into the game. And then we talked about that earlier in the stream, like the whole give and take of like what the community wants versus what the devs want, how trying to polish existing systems and fixing existing systems takes away from developing the new systems that haven't been created yet or haven't been done yet. And it's this double-edged sword that either the devs aren't happy or the players aren't happy. And it's like, you got to pick one, right? That sucks. You know, that isn't good. Does the Ashes community hope for on-use items like trinkets and WoW? Seems hard to balance with the intended 64 class system. I hate trinkets. I used to love trinkets in WoW. I used to. I was always like, oh man, these trinkets are so fucking good. I don't like trinkets anymore. I think trinkets are fucking terrible. I would rather have more interesting potions, personally. Hell, even seasonal potions. But I feel like those are kind of the same thing as trinkets. Like, I would rather just focus on my particular gear set, personally. Trinkets are basically like interesting like passives or cooldowns. So in World of Warcraft, a trinket could be, you know, like as a hunter, your auto attacks have a, you know, 15% chance to make your next aim shot 30% more critical strike on your aim shot, like something like that. It's almost like it could either be a blend of like a set bonus that's baked into an item that you can equip, or it could be like an on-use item where it, you know, like every 2 minutes you can get 4,000 more agility, and you know, for the next 10 seconds you get 4,000 more agility, and your auto attacks shoot 10% faster, like stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like I would rather have set bonuses than worry about trinkets and on-use trinkets. Like I think that's my thing. I think if I were to do any trinket in Ashes of Creation, I would have them all passive. All passive. I think on-use trinkets are fucking terrible. So, yeah, as a hero, I love trinkets. Like I said, like I'm probably in the minority. I used to love trinkets. Like I was such a fan of them, but I don't know. Trinkets in WoW are always so controversial. They're so controversial. You know what I mean? Like I just playing Ashes. Like I really like the fact that Ashes does not have any kind of a trinket personally. Trinkets are basically universal abilities that you can acquire. It's stupid. Yeah. I don't know. Like I'm just not a fan of them anymore. You know, that's my thing. 1 second. Let me see. Thoughts on all items that would drop in PvP are deleted instead of you loot PvP tokens that you could be used at Defender. Thoughts on all items that would drop in PvP are deleted instead of you loot PvP Defender. Okay, can you be more? You seem to be pretty specific, but again, idiot. Or more specifically, I'm an idiot. Are you meaning like on death and corruption, or like when someone dies in PvP, instead of them dropping gear, you want them to drop tokens? Is that what you're saying? Like I want to be I want to answer your question, but I want to answer it like in a way that I don't want to answer it in a way that's like, no, bro, that's not what I'm saying. So I want to answer it in a way that I understand, and I just don't understand how you're answering, how you're asking the question. I would like to see artisan trees. I'm hoping to see that. Bro, I've been saying artisan trees for fucking ever, man. I want artisan trees so bad. I think trinkets are really flavorful and WoW classic, but I don't necessarily think they have a slot in this game. But the itemization, at least to me, in its current state, is so boring-ish. Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of the gear in Ashes of Creation is very boring. But let's think about it, right? Like, what gear in any MMO from levels 1 to 25 is super fun and interesting? They're usually not, is my point. Usually it's always endgame gear that players are, you know, that's where the interesting shit happens. So, I mean, I feel like it's kind of like a dishonest conversation to say like, you know, Ash's gear isn't interesting. Well, I don't know what WoW gear is very interesting to have at level 19 or level 20. You know what I mean? So we'll see how that ends up forming. PvP death items are currently, items that currently drop are deleted, and you get a PvP only currency that can be used at a vendor for PvP like things. So here's the thing, right? I am not a fan of you dropping a piece of gear and another person can loot it. Like, I'm not a fan of that. Even in the most best intentional way, I am not a fan of it. I would rather have to where it's a percentage chance the item could just be destroyed. And if there's like you said, if there was a vendor where I can actually have like tokens where I can go and purchase stuff, but you have to understand, in a game like this, that wouldn't work. It seems like it would work, but you would have these very competitive guilds make alts just to kill them repeatedly, like over and over and over and over and over again, to basically get that vendor currency, right? To just buy out the vendor or buy out all this other stuff. I don't know if it would work in a game like Ashes. Like, I'm pretty confident it won't. Let me see. Do you think they'll patch anything leading up to the next live stream? I am sure they will try to work on their current fumble patch that they tried to do yesterday. And that might come out probably next week sometime. But I would say anything beyond that, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, we could be surprised and there could be more that they can add on to that patch. But at this stage, I think for them to proceed cautiously and just make sure shit's, you know, prepped, I think is the more, you know, the better way. I was actually pretty hyped for the new animations. Where was the animations at? Like, I'm so curious, like, what were the animations at in the character selection screen? Like, is that it? Another patch has been reverted. Yes. The patch yesterday was reverted. We see you can't really reward people for PvP with anything other than the satisfaction of PvP. Otherwise people would game it. The PvP reward is the ability to do the PvE content. Yeah, I don't, and I think honestly too, like, I am of the mindset where I would rather have either one or two things. So people have talked about in Discord to where a potential item can be corrupted. So instead of the item dropping, right? You know, it's like, oh, you have 1 to 3 items that will potentially drop and people can loot them. I think the first stage should be to where an item needs to be cleansed. So like either your weapon or your helm, your bracers, your legs, an earring gets corrupted and it becomes red. And then you would have to take it to, I don't know, like an arcane engineer to basically cleanse the item. And that costs stuff. And basically, once an item becomes corrupted, you know, you can't unequip it. It's there on you. And it provides it basically is acting like the item doesn't even exist. So you can't replace it with another earring. You can't do anything with it. until that item is cleansed off. And then once it's cleansed, then, you know, you can do something like that. And basically the higher corruption you go, the more items become corrupted on you, that it then becomes like an actual price to pay of like, you know, materials or actually just the gold price itself to cleanse off. I am more of a fan of that because I feel like that would actually be, in my opinion, way more punishing. And you can even have like a counter on it to where if an item has been corrupted before, then it has the potentiality to not be corrupted anymore, but it'd just be destroyed. That's my thing. So like you can actually go, and if you go to level 5 corruption, all your gear can be corrupted, and you would have to go in and basically cleanse all of your gear. But now that all of your gear has had the potentiality of being corrupted, if you were to engage in PvP more with that gear, now certain pieces can just be deleted because they can't withstand the corruption again. That kind of stuff. I would be more down for a system like that. You should only have stats from what is on hand. Yeah, exactly. Like, and again, that's not from me. I don't want to claim that this is a Vladis take or this is a Vladis thing. I literally read that on the forums. Like I've read so much stuff. I've read some amazing feedback on corruption and how certain players would handle corruption. And when I read that, I liked that idea the best, to me personally, of like items becoming corrupted, because once you have that, going to level 5 corruption, like you're not losing any gear. So you can actually go on a little bit of a spree of killing players without the worry of your gear being destroyed. However, if you have 5 pieces of gear, right, that's corrupted, that's 5 pieces of gear of it feeling like there's nothing on them. Like as an example, imagine if your weapon was corrupted. If you're a fighter and your sword is corrupted, you can't do any of your abilities. That sword is permanently corrupted and it can't be removed until it's cleansed. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing about it too is that your character is corrupted. So I can't remember what they said about how they would do that, but I personally would want to where if you're corrupted, you can't die to get rid of your corruption. That's my thing. Like I don't like that. I think that you need to pay the price in other ways potentially, and that's like by grinding. Like I would like that. Like if you had to grind to remove your corruption, because again, it should be penalizing. All corruption should be as a deterrent. It's not meant to be a gameplay loop. And I understand that there's people that want it to be a gameplay loop, but that's, you know, just not the reality of what it should be. Let me see. Do you think they should wipe soon? For what? Wipe to go back to the same mess that we're going to be in? Like we need shit fixed first before we even consider a wipe, in my opinion. I personally hate the idea of corruption altogether, if I'm being honest. I hate the idea of XP debt entirely. But I understand that this is something that Steven wants, and I understand that that's a philosophy that comes from old school games. There's a lot of old school MMOs that had XP loss or XP debt or some kind of XP thing like in their game. But I do like the idea of corruption because I don't like the idea of people murder hoboing PvEers all day, every day with no consequences. And that's what you could have in World of Warcraft. If you're on a PvP server, you can spawn camp someone all day, and that's the game loop. It's a shit game loop, in my opinion. I don't think there's any skill in that. But I like the people of, you know, this. I like the idea of the system where if you're a non-combatant, you should not experience as much PvP. Not saying any PvP. Is that guy planking? Sorry, bot. May you rest in shit. All right. But yeah, I just don't like the idea of murder hoboing. And on PvP servers, like that's exactly what you have. Honestly, like I think Ashes of Creation, in my opinion, should have niche servers. I do. I think Ashes of Creation should experiment with niche servers like an Iron Man server, to where once you die, you have to create a new character, and an always on PvP, with exceptions, of course, right? Like going into settlements and doing all the other stuff, or maybe not. Like maybe have, to where if you're wanting to fight in towns, like go ahead and do so. And the guards don't do anything about it. Like, I think having certain exceptional servers like that could actually bring in a brand new crop of people, instead of just having the same games. Because then if you look at the success of World of Warcraft is very mightily successful because of all the different modes of WoW they have. If you want to play retail, you have that. If you want to play vanilla WoW, you have that. If you want to play Burning Crusade, you have that. You want to play Season of Discovery, you have that. There's like 5 or 6 different versions of WoW a person can play at this point. And I think Ashes of Creation would really benefit from having something like that. You know what I'm saying? It might be fun for a phase to trial run different types of servers. 100%. I think that would be amazing if they did something like that. Again, it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I'm not into the whole Iron Man one death thing, but a lot of people love that. Hardcore became popular for a reason. And I think if Ashes did a hardcore server, I think people would fucking do it. I really do. Let me see. Let them focus on one vision of the game. I'm just talking about, like, if Ashes wants to come out of the gate swinging on launch, I think that would be pretty cool. You know what I'm saying? Because in my opinion, it wouldn't take away too much time to just say, like, hey, we're going to make it to where when you die once, that's it. I don't think that's a hard thing to spin up, really. And then, of course, an always on PvP server. Hell, they can just do the Iron Man server first. That, to me, I think would be very fucking easy to do. And just be like, hey, we have one server that is like a hardcore Ashes server. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's, again, it will appeal to streamers. I have so many streamers love hardcore servers because it's very cool for viewers to watch. It's very engaging content. Because even right now, if I was on a hardcore server, like, I could be mining this thing and this person could just flag up and kill me and I'm done. Like, at any point in time, and that's usually how it happens on hardcore WoW servers. You're doing something mundane and then shit goes sideways, something aggro's over here that you didn't fucking see, and then it shoots you and you're like, oh my God, what the fuck? Oh, I'm dead. I've seen it so many times. You know what I mean? So it's like, there's always that thrill that you could miss the thing that fucked that person over. You know what I'm saying? Funny how the WoW team said you don't want classic, you think you do, but you don't. And now we have so many different ways to play the game. They realize people want options for gameplay without ever needing to mash everything together. Exactly. And again, if we want to take any lesson from World of Warcraft, it's knowing that there are different people, there's different strokes for different folks, even towards the same thing. And I think Ashes of Creation getting into, like, different servers for different things, like, again, you don't have to go wild with it. You don't have to have like 8 different ways to play Ashes of Creation, but I think having a hardcore server would be very beneficial. I do. I think an Ashes hardcore server would actually go hard, in my opinion. I think it would be a lot of fun to watch from a viewer standpoint. Let me see. The whole game needs scaling down. 70 plus ingots for something physical. Small seems dumb. Yeah, I think, again, the whole number 2 when it comes to crafting right now, in my opinion, needs to be adjusted for sure. Let me see. Hey, bro, State of Ashes or Hurt the PV is non-existent. Yeah, you're right. PvP right now, I mean, the whole Resna server died because PvP is non-existent. More specifically, meaningful PvP is non-existent. You can PvP, but it's not good PvP. Let me see. The whole let me see, have you seen the dev letter? Live stream got moved to February 13th. Yeah, we went over it. We literally went over it as soon as it happened. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can always go back in the VOD. And I people were messaging me, earlier in the stream when I started to be like, hey, is the live stream delayed? I didn't see any update or anything to it or whatever. It's like, well, again, I just kind of put 2 and 2 together. And then they ended up announcing, because as like I said, they're going to have to announce it sooner or later that it's either happening tomorrow or it's not. So Let me see. Both Ashes hardcore and Ashes no PvP servers would be very popular. Oh man, that's the thing that I think people don't want. I don't think, because here's the thing, all of the PvEers would basically want to go to those no PvP servers. And Steven, you know, does not want that either. I don't mind the PvX dynamic. It just needs to work properly. And I think right now it doesn't. Oh man, I've been getting so lucky, man. This is amazing. I don't even have that high quality either. I have more spoils than anything right now. But I actually got to create my new I got to create my new mining sword, or my new mining pick. That's the only thing I need right now. I could probably buy it now that I have 50 something gold. I want an epic journeyman mining pickaxe that has the high spoils and low quality. Like, that's what I want. What's my spoils at right now? 351. Oh man, yeah, that would be amazing if I can get that. Yeah, I don't think you make a PvE server, just additional PvP options in hardcore. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think that would probably be, because all the PvPers would riot. Like, all the PvPers would riot. Let me see. Journeyman pickaxe equals speed. No, there's one. Let's see. I'll show you the one I want. This one. So I want this particular one at epic. It has high spoils, low quality. That's the one I want. I don't think I'm done getting the materials required for it yet. That's my thing. Let me see. By the way, what are your thoughts on the instance arena in AOC, and what could a reward system look like? I haven't really thought about the arena system too much. Again, I'm not a PvP minded or focus minded person. I want instanced arena, but I have not thought about like rewards or the structure of shit. Damn, dude. This is a really good haul so far. So I'm sorry. I don't want to answer disingenuously, but the answer is like, I just don't know. I do want instance arena. I want instance arena, but I also want Coliseum. And to me, Coliseum is more invisible wall, but still in the open world. So it's not instance. Like, I want viewers. Like, I want to be able to go to a military settlement, sit in the seats of a Coliseum, and see like a 3v3 happen in real time. That's what I want. And I would love for that system to be something where I can place like bets on, whether it's in Discord or hell, even if that's in game, because this is a mature rated game. You know what I mean? Like, I think it'd be really nice to have like an actual, like almost like a horse betting system, right? Where you can go to like the person and bet, you know, some gold on like which team is which. And because it's actually not an instance thing, like imagine if you and your team had to show up at certain time slots. So like every 30 minutes, for like, a certain amount of time, let's say from like 2 p.m. server time to 9 p.m. server time. And that's the only time frame the Coliseum is up. You can go and watch a battle every 30 minutes. And you can sign up, you know what I mean? Like for your team and say like, hey, our match is going to be on, you know, Friday at, 4:30, you know, and you can go there, have your match and, you know, place your bets or whatever. You can see like, you know, who they are, what guild they're from, what their team name is. And I would love a system like that. I think it'd be fucking amazing. Why not have it up 24/7? No, I think time slots are better. I think having limited time slot because you want people to be there, right? Like again, I know for a hardcore PvP or like who's going to show up at like 3:30 in the morning to do that. I know there will be people, but I think having it feel like an event, that's my thing. If you have it feel like an event, everyone's going to show up. If it's 24/7, it's going to feel like a daily news channel, right? Like I only stream for about 2 hours, which I am actually past my time. I actually should be getting off soon. Because when shit feels limited, it feels like you don't want to miss out on it. When stuff is all the time, you almost forget about it. and it becomes like, it's not an event anymore, right? It's just, oh, I can tune in whenever. So I want, again, instance arenas should be 24/7. If you want to go into some instance thing, fine, go ahead and do that. I'm talking, I think the Coliseum should be different. So there's the instance arenas, and then there's the Coliseum system. That's how I would do the two. Instanced arena is basically you going into some instance match that I can't see. The Coliseum is stuff that I can see because it's basically barricaded around an invisible wall, and I can, you know, see that. I think would be really fucking cool too. Imagine if every military settlement had different Coliseum layouts. So imagine if you had one that was like in World of Warcraft, right? How you have different arena maps. So imagine if each like the settlement in Winstead, because this is technically a military settlement. Imagine this Coliseum being different than the military settlement of Sunhaven. So Sunhaven has more of like a blood gulch, you know, sandy arena, kind of like Gladiator, and this one is more like Predator, foresty, you know, Coliseum kind of thing, right? Like that's my thing. Like I think that would also just be really fucking cool. Let me see.
He's pulling his cock out.
It'd be cool to have a spectator mode for even instance arenas. That'd be nice, but they've done away with very different node layouts with the original vision. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've done away with it. I just think they're probably going to start out with more static layouts. And then eventually like post launch. Because again, I think people, and honestly, Steven put way too fucking much in Ashes of Creation from the get. And so, so yeah, I think it would be better. Sorry, man, my freaking throat is getting dry. I think it'd be better to just like put out something foundationally first and then start making the unique stuff post launch, right? And I think you can do that for sure. Let me see, just give me the racial visual differences and I'll be happy. Yeah. And I think if we do get that, at least for settlement differences, I'll be fine with that too. I really would. So yeah. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and get off because it's almost dinner time too. So I'm going to go ahead and get off. But I really do appreciate everybody coming in on stream and hanging out. Like always, it's always a fun time to come in and chat with everybody. And again, if you guys want to come and chat with me tomorrow, I'll be streaming. Let me see, tomorrow is Friday, which would have been the live stream, but now it's not. I don't know what time I'll be streaming tomorrow. It could be probably 7:38 p.m. It could be earlier. It just depends. If I can't stream earlier, I will, because I like to have my evenings available just to like chill and, you know, maybe hang out with the wife, watch some anime and shit. They need to go over everything that was promised and is currently missing, publicly divided into low, medium, high priority, and share a roadmap. Such a simple thing. Well, Inferno, I think they are going to do that. I do. I just hope it's enough. That's my thing. I don't know if the live stream is going to be enough for people to feel like this was worth to be delayed 2 weeks. Is my thing. So it's, yeah, it is. It's just an is what it is situation. Yeah, and it's never enough. Yeah, it's never enough. We'll see. I'm hopeful. Like all I can be is hopeful. All I can be is supportive, and you know, and see what they show up. Let me see who is streaming in the Ashes category right now. Let me check out the Ashes category. Sean stream, Ryo. See Dusty. Not Royer. Royer is not even streaming, I don't think. I don't know. See this guy. He has 50 viewers. Elite Vargas.
City and just pick on anyone sub 20, and they'll still get the numbers and they'll still win.
It's more likely one would.
Yeah, no. We're not talking about node wars. We're talking about sieges.
Oh, he's talking PvP. All right, well, let me go raid him. Oh, he follows me. And he subscribed to me. All right, let's go raid him over. I like raiding new people that, you know, I don't know. All right, you guys have a good time. I'll see you guys later, or see you tomorrow. So have a good one. Peace out. Mike, thank you so much for the follow, brother.